Alright. Thank you all for tuning in. Today we are checking out PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. I am super excited about this game. I've been watching a few other YouTubers throwing out their videos, and I really wanted to take a crack at it. Now, I personally am not an FPS player. I'm not very good at it, and well, I don't really claim to be good at it, as you will see in the following videos. But you know what? This game is awesome, and in my opinion, I recommend everyone should at least try it out. I mean, it's like what, 29 bucks or something like that on Steam. Totally worth it. So I played, shoot, I don't know how many games I played, but this is going to be a prime example. This is actually my very first game playing. So yeah, this is going to be a prime example of how the majority of my games have gone. So drop down, run around. First thing you want to do, you want to get into these buildings, of course, look around, and here I find a pistol. I'm pretty lucky I find a pistol really quickly, which is pretty common. Usually you'll find a pistol first, but sometimes you get a little bit luckier. You'll get an AK or a SCAR or an M16 or something like that. So here I grab a helmet, run around the corner here, and I'm just searching around. You can find med kits on the ground. I find a double-barreled shotgun, which, if I was a better aimer, I would be, pretty happy about. But I'm not that great, and considering you only have pretty much one trigger pull and you're done, yeah, wasn't really the best weapon for me. So come around the corner here. I'm still looking around, and that quick. So I pull the trigger, not basically panicking at this point. I didn't switch over to my pistol, which I still had, and done. That was the end of our first round. So here we go. This is the start. This is definitely not the round right after the first round. I had more than a few games that ended just like that, and nobody really wants to see 2 seconds of running around, grabbing a pistol, and getting owned by somebody. But a couple rounds later, I end up having a pretty decent game. Overall, and I don't think I'm actually going to be showing this game in this video, but my best game, I ended up finishing 25th out of 100, which you can't really complain about. That's not too bad, 25th. So let's go ahead and skip all this and get ourselves right into the action. So I just landed, and it's time to begin the search for gear. Right off the bat, I get pretty lucky in this one. I find basically a flak vest or a police vest and a nice little, I believe that's a SCAR, and start grabbing some ammo for it real quick here. You always have to remember, because I have forgotten, to reload your weapons when you pick up ammo, because they come empty. So made a little mistake here. I dropped the flak jacket and picked up an LBV, which basically allows you to carry a little bit more, I think. So at some point later on I realized, oh yeah, I should probably go switch those back over. So yeah, running around, looking around. This is pretty straightforward. I'm trying to listen, because one of the key things is you have to listen for footsteps, and of course I'm not quite there being able to pick out when somebody's footsteps are next to me. Here I'm trying to figure out why this doesn't, how to put things on your weapon, because you can put attachments. You can pick up things like scopes and pistol grips and all kinds of crazy stuff for both your pistols and your rifles. And I believe, yep, there we go, I got a scope. So it's kind of nice. Little attachments and upgrades for your weapons. Now, I'm hearing something. I know somebody's around, because I heard a little vehicle cruising around out there a little bit ago. And so I'm kind of waiting. I got the front door to my right. I don't see the person out the window, so they definitely have to be on the other side of the house. And what do you know? Here they come. And that's it. That is my first official kill in PlayerUnknown. What is it? PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds? I was pretty pumped. I was quite surprised. Now, don't go try to loot the bodies. You actually loot the crate next to the bodies, but luckily enough, I was close enough that you just run up, hit inventory or I, and you can transfer the items over. This is where I figure out, oh yeah, put your flak jacket back on. Get a little pistol grip here. That is pretty cool. Helps with stability, I'm assuming, but I don't really know. I have to get a little bit better at figuring out these weapons and things. So I head outside, and lucky day for me, the kind fellow that held a couple of my bullets for me decided to drop off his vehicle. So as you can see, I'm outside of the bubble, and I need to make sure that I stay at least close to it. I hadn't quite figured out that the white bubble is where the blue bubble on the map is going to be closing to once the timer counts down. So basically the way it works is the far outside is like a blue bubble that slowly moves in when the timer tells you, it's going to start moving in. I don't remember the exact verbiage. You'll see it here. And then the white bubble is where you need to be inside of to be safe. So blue bubble, bad. White bubble, good. And then the red bubble, I'm not 100% sure on that one, but basically it's almost like an artillery strike hits the area or something. Things just blow up inside the red bubble. So I'd advise staying away from it. So at this point I decide driving is a little too slow for me, and I'm going to go ahead and try to go airborne. Not a good idea. So I flipped my buggy, had to hop out. It does do a little bit of damage to you, so definitely be careful. You can hurt yourself in those vehicles if you roll them. Get out of the vehicle, and now I'm on foot. But at this point, I'm getting pretty close to the outer circle. I'm like right on the edge of it, and so I just continue to run in. And as you see in the upper right corner, I am now ranked, well, 56. So 55 alive, and I've got 1 kill. When you hit the map, it shows how many kills. See, right up there, you'll see the amount of kills plus, how many people are left alive. So 54 people are slowly dying off, and I just got into the outer circle. Now, at this point, I'm somewhat on edge because, well, in this game, you almost always are on edge because you never know when you're going to run into another player and it's going to be over. Now, of course, you want to be the one running into them and not the other way around, because having somebody get the drop on you is bad. Very, very bad. There's a nice little glitch right there. So I'm trying to look around as much as I can. I'm not the greatest yet. I've got to kind of fix up my keybinds. I use a G13 gaming pad, and I'm trying to get settled in with what's comfortable. My free look button is not really where I like it because it's actually right below my forward button, or actually my back button, and so if I'm moving forward I can't really push it. So I've got to figure that one out. But I'm trying to look around as best I can, trying to see if I see anyone moving on the horizon, because again, I don't want to be surprised. The blue outside, you'll get some pretty good examples of the blue ribbon that I was talking about, or the blue circle, is starting to move in pretty quickly, and so I'm not super familiar with how fast it comes in, especially this being like my second or third game or something like that. So I see a house and I decide to move towards it. Now, if you're looking at your main map and your mini map, you'll see these little yellow dots. Those are all the buildings and the houses, so definitely pay attention. I find the ones that are off by themselves tend to be the easiest to go for. You usually can get up to them pretty easily, and typically nobody's around them. I don't know. I'm only really about like 10 games, maybe 11 games into this, and so far, whenever I've run into like a major city or an area with 4 or 5 houses, I almost always find another player. But if I go to one of these like single houses off by themselves, I might get lucky and find a weapon in there or some nice upgrades or ammo or something. But rarely do I find another player. It does happen, so don't hold me to it, but it is pretty rare. Another little tip, since I'm on that subject, is when you're first in the what is it, C-130 or something like that drops you off. Don't drop too early. I've kind of tried to been figuring out, okay, where can I drop? Where can I hit F to get out of this plane and drop on this island and not run into too many people right at the beginning? I found that if you wait a little bit and you can kind of watch, you can see people flying out the back of it. Don't do it at the beginning, because a lot of people go to the beginning. Wait, until you're maybe mid to halfway over the island, and then drop. and then just shoot straight down as fast as you can, because if you can get to the ground quicker, you have an opportunity to run inside of the buildings, hopefully grab a weapon real fast, and then when they land and come into those same buildings, if they do, you can pop them real quick. So yeah, that's my little tip of the day for PlayerUnknown. Get to the ground quick, but do it more towards the center of the map. And don't swim. That's tip number 2. You guys got 2 free tips. This is ridiculous. There's a good example. See that blue line coming in? Yeah, don't be on the other side of that. But anyways, 2 free tips. Get to the ground quickly and avoid swimming at all costs, because yeah, you can't outswim the blue bubble. I tried it. Doesn't work. Turns out poorly, and then you're panicking. You will probably survive. You'll probably get to the other side, but don't do it. It's just bad news. So here I'm slowly moving in, and again, I am super on edge at this point. This is, to this game, up to this game so far, this is the longest I've been alive. Usually I've been dying really fast. This one, you know, I'm already under the halfway mark, and I'm like, okay, you know, everybody's getting pushed towards the center. There's got to be people around. So yeah, that was an accident. Kind of figuring out this whole bandage thing. So I'm kind of looking around, kind of checking the road, seeing if I can see people running around, and I don't really see anyone. And here's something that I can give you as a third tip, which might help you. It does kind of help to just skirt the edge. You know, give yourself enough room so you don't get caught in the blue bubble or outside of the blue circle. But if you can be ahead of the blue circle a little bit, most people are going to be in front of you, moving in towards the center. And this actually got me quite a few times, as people were able to sneak up behind me because I was already, you know, further in, maybe, you know, sneaking around or doing something like this, trying to see if anyone was in front of me, when there was enough space between me and the blue bubble behind me that they were getting pushed up and were pushed right into me, and I didn't see them coming. So that's another thing, is it's a little bit more advantageous, at least in my opinion, to kind of skirt the edge of the bubble a little bit. Now, that may cost you the game a couple times if you get caught outside of it, but more often than not, you're probably going to be better off if you can skirt the edge of it. So I see this house, I decide, you know what, I'm going to try and loot it. The door was closed, so I usually go for houses with closed doors because nobody's really been through there, or at least I hope. So I go check it out. I would definitely look through windows first before you go bursting into houses, because that can get you in a little bit of trouble. Don't really find anything great in here. Yeah, I think I found some ammo. No, I didn't really find anything. So I'm just kind of dinking around, looking at the map. And this is another thing, don't spend too much time looking at the map, because that will cost you. And then all of a sudden, I start hearing gunshots. Really close gunshots. Yeah, there's a guy right there. I take a couple of shots, but at that point, it was too late, and that was game. So to recap, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds is pretty awesome in my opinion. It's early access, which in my opinion makes it even better, because there aren't really too many glitches and bugs that I've run into. There's a few, of course, there always will be, but it's definitely a fantastic game. I am going to continue doing more videos and or basically continue the series on this game, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. I'll do a lot more in-game commentary rather than doing voiceovers, but that will pretty much have to wait until I'm a little bit better, because right now I suck. So I need to I need to work on my skills in this game. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to this channel. There will be plenty more videos just like this. Once again, thank you for tuning in, and have a great day. Bye-bye.